What Bitcoin wallets do I recommend to beginners? This is going to be a walkthrough starting with the easiest way to get started with Bitcoin as a beginner and then slowly moving into sovereign ownership. I have no ads and no sponsors on this channel, so any of the products or services that I recommend here are things that I actually use and enjoy. As a starting wallet, I like to recommend Coinos.io right now. Their code is fully open source and it's very easy to onboard. Let me show you. All you have to do is go to Coinos.io and click register. One of the things I really like about Coinos is that they don't ask for all of your personal information. You could be completely anonymous if you want. The dice button is cool for that. If you click on it, it'll give you a random username, or you can use your real name if you want. Either way, it's neat, but I would definitely not use their suggested password. Use a password manager with a very long and complex password here because you want to make sure your Coinos account is secure. Just do not use this random password suggestion thing. So starting out, the currency is based on where you are located, probably based on your IP. I'm using a VPN, so I'm going to go change the currency by clicking in the top right corner and selecting settings. This is where you can change your currency and your language. So back in the main menu, the most important thing here is our ability to receive Bitcoin. You can click on the main receive button in the center of your screen on the home page or in the top right corner. This QR code allows us to receive Bitcoin on Lightning. So Bitcoin operates in layers, and understanding why is actually really important when we're choosing a wallet. The base layer, or layer 1, is the Bitcoin protocol itself, and it's designed for security. On top of that sits other layers. On layer 2, you have different solutions like Lightning, which is designed for privacy and speed. So Lightning isn't a crypto or another coin. It's actually Bitcoin, just on a layer that makes it more private and faster to transact. Lightning is awesome for everyday transactions. And this is the layer that most Bitcoiners use. Just to give you a comparison, Lightning transactions take just a few seconds, whereas transactions on layer 1 can take up to 10 minutes. That's where people say Bitcoin's too slow, but they're not using the right layer of the protocol. Generally speaking, I recommend that people use the base layer, so layer 1, when they're sending money to their savings account. If you have a large transaction that you want to put into your safe, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, layer 1 is great. But if you're using everyday transactions and you want to buy things in Bitcoin and receive Bitcoin, Lightning is much better. On top of that, we have even more layers that are being built. And in layer 3 right now, we have Cashew and Ecash. These are even more private ways of transacting. And the cool thing is, Coinos accepts all of them. Also, just to mention, Ecash, Cashew, Liquid, none of these things are cryptos. It's all Bitcoin. Again, once again, it's just another layer of the protocol. So I'm going to demonstrate how to receive Bitcoin. If I were in person with someone, from their wallet, I'd have them scan the QR code. It's the easiest way. But if we were at a distance, I'd probably send them this address. This is not an email. If you try emailing it, it won't work. So from a distance, just send this to someone and they'll be able to zap you the sats from their Lightning account. Otherwise, if you're in person with someone, they'll probably just click on the send button on their phone so that they can scan your address. And in just a few seconds, there it is in your account. It's instantaneous. We can see it if we go back to the main page. All your transactions are here. You can also see them in the top right corner by clicking the clock icon. Now for tax purposes, Coinos is actually really practical because you can just click on all and then click on export and it'll export all of your transactions if you need this. If you're just starting out and you want to fund your account yourself, you can send yourself Bitcoin on chain. Chances are if you have any Bitcoin at the moment, it's probably on chain. That means if you got it from an exchange, if you got it from an ATM, you probably have Bitcoin that is on the base layer. What's cool about Coinos is that if you send yourself the Bitcoin on chain, you can then use it on Lightning right away. All you have to do for this is click on the Bitcoin button from the receive page and you'll have a Bitcoin address that'll appear. Just go to the account where you have your Bitcoin and send it to yourself. It can even connect to your Nostr account super easily. Let me show you. If you don't know what Nostr means, it means notes and other stuff transmitted over relays. And it's an open protocol that has Bitcoin built in. And if you want to connect your existing Nostr account, it's super simple. In the top right corner, click on Settings, click on Nostr, and then click on New Connection. This will allow you to zap people on Nostr and receive sats. You can name it the name of the platform that you're going to be connecting to, add a budget if you'd like, and the most important thing here is to copy the secret key. Then go to your Nostr account, using any of the clients or apps that you prefer. My favorite recommendation for beginners right now is primal.net. So just paste your secret key where you see NWC or Nostr Wallet Connect, and that's it. You can receive zaps on Nostr. So that's why I like to start with Coinos. It's very easy to sign up. You have access to all the different layers of the protocol within the same tool, and it just removes a lot of barriers to entry for beginners. However, Coinos is custodial. That means that we are trusting them with our Bitcoin like a bank. If we leave our money in a bank account, we're trusting the bank to not lose our money. We're trusting them to keep it safe and not seize it or do anything. Coinos has made a few mistakes in the past. I don't think that these are deal breakers. I think it's just important to know the risks when we're using these tools. If your goal is just to get started, to have a wallet for Nostr, to be able to zap people, or to receive sats, Coinos is perfect. But in the long term, it's good to move the money off of this platform and into a wallet where you own the keys. I'll talk about that in a second, but first I want you to secure your Coinos account. In order to secure your Coinos account, go to the top right corner and click on Settings, and then go to Security. Enable a PIN. This is important to secure your account. Use a PIN that you'll remember, or put it in your password manager. You can also activate two-factor authentication, which I of course highly recommend. I also recommend using a self-hosted application for this, like Aegis. If you're using Graphene OS, you can download it from the F-Droid store. Another thing I would recommend doing for safety and security is going to account and adding an email address. It can be a completely anonymous email address, just something that you have access to. It just makes it easier to recover your account if you forget your password. It also allows you to receive email notifications when someone sends you sats. Never keep too much Bitcoin in your Coinos wallet. Always consider that it could be stolen or lost. And so what do you do if you get an amount in your wallet that you do not want to have stolen or lost? That's where I recommend Blue Wallet. It is fully open source. It can be verified. I think Blue Wallet is the perfect next step for beginners. Once you have an amount in Coinos that you do not want to lose, you can send it on chain, that 10-minute transaction, to your Blue Wallet. Let me show you. So we're gonna start by first downloading Blue Wallet. It's a mobile application. So go to your phone and search for the application Blue Wallet in the App Store or in the Google Play Store. Once you have it installed, click on Add Now to add a new wallet. From this screen, you can enter a name for your wallet, make sure Bitcoin's selected, and then click Create. Now, I didn't realize this while I was filming, but the screen is hidden, and that's a very good thing. You probably know why if you're following along this tutorial right now, but what is on the screen are 12 words. These 12 words are the Bitcoin. This is incredibly important. Write down these 12 words, not in front of a camera. Don't save it to your password manager. Make sure no one else is around. Write it down on a piece of paper that you don't lose. This literally is access to your Bitcoin. Once you write down the words, we'll be back in the main menu. Click on your wallet that you just created, and it's going to ask you again, did you write down the words? Very important. I hope you did. Click yes. And then here's where you can receive the Bitcoin. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy paste this address by selecting it, and then we're going to go back to Coinos. Click on the top right corner and then scroll down on the first page. We're going to select Auto Withdrawal. And this is where you're going to paste the Bitcoin wallet from Blue Wallet. Now what's really cool here is you can automatically send money from your Coinos account over to Blue Wallet, depending on how much is in the account. Let's say it's $100. So whenever your Coinos account hits $100, automatically it's going to go on chain and get sent to your Blue Wallet account where you control the keys. It's kind of like your intermediary savings account right now. Maybe the amount you don't want to lose is $50. So whenever you reach $50 worth of Bitcoin in your account, it'll automatically get sent over to your Blue Wallet. Whatever you prefer, but I really like this auto withdrawal tool. You can also make sure that there's a little bit left over in your account if you're zapping on Nostr, for example. I like to keep a couple thousand sats just in case so I can zap people still, even if I cleared out my Coinos account. Self-custody means holding our own Bitcoin. It means no longer trusting a bank or Coinos or any other third party to hold and save our Bitcoin for us. This is the power of Bitcoin. It is the most amazing innovation. We've never had this opportunity in 5,000 years of human history. The ability to hold a scarce asset in our own fully sovereign possession, true financial sovereignty. And Blue Wallet is your first step into that world. If you lose your phone, if it breaks, as long as you have these 12 words, you still have access to your Bitcoin. You can upload them into any wallet and still access your Bitcoin. You could leave a war zone with just these 12 words in your head and take all of your sovereign money with you. That is the power of Bitcoin. This is why writing these words down on a piece of paper and storing it somewhere safe is absolutely crucial. If you lose your seed phrase, you lose the Bitcoin forever. If you delete the app, but you still have the words, you don't lose the Bitcoin. But if you delete the app and you don't have the words, the Bitcoin is gone. Something I get asked often is, where can I see my Bitcoin seed phrase if I'm no longer in the onboarding menu? In order to see your 12 words again, click on your wallet, and from within the wallet menu, click on the 3 dots in the top right corner. Then select Export Backup. This will display the 12 words on the screen. There's no customer support in Bitcoin. There's nobody to call. There's no CEO. There's no complaints department. That's the cost of sovereignty, self-responsibility. So if you lost your Blue Wallet, for example, if you deleted the app or anything, you can reinstall it or use another app that you trust with on-chain Bitcoin and re-enter those 12 words once again to access your Bitcoin. To recover a wallet, click Add Now and then click Import Wallet. When I click it, you can see that it hides the screen again. But you'd have a box where you can enter the 12 words in the order you wrote them down. And that'll allow you to access your Bitcoin once again. I'd also like to show you how to change your account settings and protect your Blue Wallet accounts. Just in case your phone gets stolen, having a password on your Blue Wallet app is really important. From the main screen, not from the wallet screen, okay? From the main screen, click the 3 dots in the top right corner. From here, you can change the currency, the language, and add a password. The issue with Blue Wallet is that it's still on your phone. It depends on your device. You could lose your phone, you could have it stolen, and it's always connected to the internet. That's where the risk lies. That's why I recommend that beginners take their Bitcoin out of their Lightning wallet and put it into self-custody in Blue Wallet as a temporary intermediary. Generally speaking, people say to me that they would keep maybe $200 to $500 or euros in this account, something that they're okay to lose. If that sounds like a lot of money to you, then it's less in your case. It's not guaranteed you'll lose it, but it's not guaranteed it'll always be there. The third step is the most important for your sovereignty. Once you have an amount of money in your Blue Wallet that you do not want to lose, like you absolutely do not want to lose it, then it's time to get a cold wallet. A cold wallet is a physical device that stores your Bitcoin offline, away from the internet. Your private keys are generated and stored on the device itself and never leave it, keeping your funds much more secure than on your phone. This is like having a safe, and it's a great place to keep the Bitcoin that you want to hodl or save and not spend. Since I'm not sponsored, I don't have one to demonstrate, but the tool that I recommend in this case for beginners is Bitbox. It's super user-friendly, it's very easy to set up and get started with. There's tons of tutorials online that demonstrate how it works, and so once you get to that stage, this is the tool that I would recommend. They also have open source code. However, I have 2 big caveats with this company. The first thing is that they support other cryptos. As someone who values Bitcoin only and wants to avoid potential attack surfaces, I would only recommend their Bitcoin-only version of Bitbox. My second issue with Bitbox is that it requires a USB connection to a computer for setup and operation, which creates a larger attack surface compared to a fully air-gapped device like Coldcard. However, the Coldcard is just not user-friendly for beginners and non-technical individuals. But if you're technically inclined, you want the most security, and enjoy nerdy things, the Coldcard, especially the Coldcard Q, is really cool. And when it comes to Trezor and Ledger, I categorically do not recommend them for anyone. They have had way too many problems. I just cannot recommend these devices. Here's a screenshot from my book so you can get more information about what's important when choosing a Bitcoin cold wallet. If this tutorial was helpful, consider supporting my work at Daniella.io/V4V, which is the new economy. No sponsorships throughout this entire video. You just got a tutorial. That was it. If you found that valuable, consider zapping me or getting a copy of my book at Daniella.io/shop. Thanks so much for being here.